Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're diving into a really interesting text called The Garden Within. And its whole central idea is that every single one of us has this internal world, this garden, that, let's be honest, we've probably neglected. The author suggests that by consciously taking care of it, we can literally change our entire reality. So, let's get into it.
So right off the bat, the author asks this question. It's meant to tap into that feeling of being completely reactive, like you're not really in the driver's seat of your own life. Some small thing happens, and it just sets you off or totally ruins your mood. Maybe you snap at someone, say something you immediately regret. You're just being pushed and pulled around by whatever's happening outside of you. Sound familiar?
Well, according to the source, that feeling comes from having a neglected inner garden. Most of us, it argues, don't even know this garden exists, and because we're not tending to it, it's just become completely overgrown with the weeds of our bad habits and weighed down by these huge, heavy boulders from our past.
Okay, so where does all this stuff even come from? The author makes this fascinating point that from the moment we're born until about age 7, our brains are basically in a hypnotic state. We're just absorbing everything around us. And that early programming, they claim, runs about 98% of our lives today. That's what creates all those weeds and boulders that can still dictate how we react to things as adults.
So how in the world do we start to clean up this garden? Well, the first step, we're told, is to get rid of the heaviest obstacles first. We gotta tackle the boulders. These things represent all the old resentments and hurts that are just weighing you down. And to get rid of them, the source offers a very specific tool.
And that key, according to the author, is forgiveness. This is presented as the heavy machinery you need to move those boulders out of the way. But it's not just about forgiving other people. It's a two-way street. It also means asking for forgiveness for the things we've done. But, okay, what does that actually look like in practice? The process they lay out is actually super simple and really practical. First, you write down everything about the incident. Then, and this is important, you let yourself truly feel all the emotions that come up without trying to block them. Next, you consciously forgive the person. And finally, you burn the paper. The whole idea is that this physical act sends a really powerful signal to your subconscious that you are letting that weight go for good. And this is a really, really important point. The author makes it clear that forgiveness isn't about forgetting what happened or saying it was okay. Not at all. It's an internal cleaning process. The whole goal is just to neutralize that painful emotional charge so the incident becomes just a memory, not some massive boulder that's still taking up space in your garden today.
Okay, so once the boulders are gone, the soil is a lot clearer. The heavy lifting is done. Now, the ongoing work begins. This is the day-to-day gardening of pulling out the weeds of negative habits and, more importantly, consciously planting the seeds of the qualities you actually want to see in your life.
And you can see it laid out pretty clearly here. The weeds are all that reactive stuff. The anger, the negativity, the fear, the judgment. The seeds, on the other hand, are the qualities you want to cultivate. Things like kindness, love, patience, and compassion. This isn't about being perfect, right? It's just about being conscious and choosing what you want to grow inside yourself.
And this right here is the real kicker. The source argues that your outer life, your experiences, your relationships, everything is a direct mirror of what's going on inside. If you want to change the world around you, if you want to experience more kindness and have better connections, you have to start with the work on the inside first. Your actions will just naturally start to reflect what's growing in your garden.
So, you've cleared the boulders, you've planted some new seeds. But how do you make them grow? You can't just leave them there? Well, the author introduces one essential tool that you need to nurture all this new growth.
I just love this metaphor. It makes meditation sound so simple, right? It's not some big, complicated, abstract thing. It's simply the water and the sunlight for your inner world. Every time you close your eyes and focus within, you're giving those seeds of kindness and compassion the energy they need to actually sprout and grow.
To cut through all the noise about what meditation is supposed to be, the author shares this really clean, elegant definition. Meditation is perfect concentration upon a perfect point. And in this context, that perfect point is often just your own breath. By bringing your focus back to it again and again and again, you start to train your mind. You calm it down. And why the breath? Well, get this. We take over 23,000 breaths every single day. And for almost all of them, we are completely unconscious. We're not even aware. Each one of those breaths is a little opportunity to connect back to the present moment, to water our garden. It just goes to show how much of our lives are spent on autopilot and how powerful it can be to just become aware. So after all this work, removing boulders, pulling weeds, planting and watering seeds, what happens? Well, eventually you get a harvest.
And the results, the source suggests, are pretty profound. They can transform not just you, but the world around you.
And this is where it gets bigger than just you. According to the author, this isn't just a feel-good self-help exercise. It's seen as a fundamental part of our collective evolution. The idea is that every single person who tends their own garden helps to shift our entire society from a state of separation, that me mentality, to one of connection and unity, a we mentality.
And the rewards for all this work? They're actually pretty amazing and super tangible. We're talking about things like being able to laugh at adversity, finally conquering those stubborn bad habits, and experiencing real, genuine inner peace. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a divine sense of humor or feel connected to the universe? These are the fruits that grow in a garden that's truly cared for.
And it all comes back to this one really profound idea that the author circles back to again and again. Tending your inner garden isn't just about managing your moods or being a nicer person. It's about remembering your true nature, that you are not some small, separate thing, but an essential, connected part of the entire universe.
So let's end where the author leaves us, with a question for you to think about. After all this, take a moment and just be honest with yourself. What is the state of your garden? Are there some boulders that need moving? Are there weeds you need to pull? Or maybe some beautiful seeds that are just waiting to be planted? The choice, as the author says, is entirely yours.